Good morning, readers. Today I want to teach you something very important about characters in our books. We will not all understand characters in the same way. We'll have different ideas about why a character feels one way or another, or how that character acts. And when we see a pattern throughout the book in the way the character acts, we can say this is a trait of that character. Here's a chart that shows the difference between the feelings and the traits of a character. For the feelings, we know it shows how a character feels at a particular moment, and that can change quickly. And this is why many of us readers have different ideas, because the feelings of a character changes so quickly. But instead, a character's trait, the traits show who we are on the inside, and it's slow to change. So the trait of a character, you'll find repeats throughout the book. There's a pattern of the way the character acts. Now, to help us come up with some words to describe a character's trait, we have this fantastic poster. So here's some simple words to describe a character's trait: nice, mean, sad, positive, negative, confident or nervous, or maybe the character does a lot or does very little. But underneath these gray, simple words are more grown-up, precise words that we can use to describe the trait of a character. So I'm going to use an example of the wolf in Little Red Riding Hood, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to come up with some traits, some words to describe the wolf. We know the story pretty well. Here the wolf is thinking of swallowing Red here. Pretty cruel. And here he's tricky. He's trying to trick her. He's tricking her to pick flowers instead of going to Grandma's. That way he could beat her and get to Grandma's first and then swallow her up. So I would say, as I'm looking at this chart, Wolf is mean. He's a mean character. That's his trait. That's slow to change. He was mean throughout the entire story. Now I want to choose a grown-up word. Maybe I'll choose the word evil, or I'll come up with my own word like wicked, so that really matches how he was behaving. All right, now let's have you give it a try. I'm going to read a story called The Boy Who Cried Wolf. Now, while I'm reading The Boy Who Cried Wolf, together we're going to study the character, the boy, and you don't need to get materials out or write anything. I just want you to watch the video, this lesson, and think with me. So as I'm reading the story, I'd like you to think about a couple of things, okay? This worksheet here you will be doing after the lesson. Together we're going to practice in a few moments finding the character trait of the boy in The Boy Who Cried Wolf, and we're going to find two areas in the story that kind of proves, right? It's going to show the evidence of that character trait. So let's try that together. All right. So here is The Boy Who Cried Wolf. Once there was a boy who had to look after a flock of sheep every day as they grazed near a village. One day, as it was raining and the boy was bored, he decided to play a trick on the villagers. "Woof, woof!" he shouted as loudly as possible. "A wolf is attacking the sheep!" The villagers immediately ran to where the sheep were grazing. They ran as fast as the wind to drive away the wolf. And when they rushed to the field and found the sheep were quite safe, the boy laughed and laughed. The villagers did not find it funny. So here he lied. Okay, so that's a character trait. Let's see if this trait continues throughout the story. The next day, the boy shouted as loudly as possible, "Woof, woof! A wolf is attacking the sheep!" The villagers ran to the field as fast as the wind. Again, they found the sheep were safely grazing on the lush green grass. The boy laughed more than ever, but the villagers found it even less funny. Okay, so we can see here that the boy's trait of lying happened again, right? Because we know character traits, they're slow to change. They don't change quickly like feelings do. Okay, let's continue on. On the third day, a wolf really did come. "Woof, woof!" shouted the boy as the sheep ran in all directions trying to escape from the wolf. Oh, please, come quickly, the boy cried. But none of the villagers took any notice of his cries. No one ran to the field because they thought the boy was playing tricks again, just as he had done before. If you tell lies, no one will believe you when you tell the truth. Okay, so going back to our chart here. So what do you think? Which word, we can start with a simple word, can describe the actions that this character, the boy, continued to do over and over again? He wasn't nice. He was mean. Not sad, not positive, maybe negative, yeah. He does a lot of stuff in the story. So I would say either mean or negative. Let's take a look. So mean. He was cruel. He was definitely thoughtless. He wasn't thinking about the villagers, like they left what they were doing to come to help him. Okay, let's go to the negative. Here's the word dishonest. That means he lied. So definitely, I would take the word dishonest as a character trait of the boy. And we went back down here, thoughtless, maybe even cruel. So those three words I could possibly use to describe the boy's trait. So let's take a look. Which one do you think? And remember, the word that you choose, you need to find the evidence in the story that shows that he displayed that character trait. All right, so many of you chose the words dishonest or thoughtless. Maybe some of you even chose cruel. Now, what was the first indication in the story that showed that he was lying? You're right. He lied at the beginning, right off. He was like crying wolf, wolf, when there really wasn't any wolf, just so he could tease and trick the villagers. So that's what we wrote here. And he even laughed about it. That showed that he was thoughtless. Okay? So another place that he showed that he was dishonest or thoughtless or cruel was that he yelled it again. He tried to trick them again. And again, the villagers came because they were trying to help him. So for the second or another time that he showed that he was dishonest or thoughtless was that he cried wolf again. And then he laughed again when the villagers arrived. So do you see how you can do the same thing with the book that you read today? So boys and girls, now I'm going to ask you to get your materials. You may print out this How is My Character as a Person sheet, or you can use a blank sheet of paper if you'd like. But make sure you write the title of the book, your character you're studying, write the trait or traits, and then 2 places in the story that show that your character was the trait that you chose. Also, you may print out a copy of this character traits poster. There's a link on the Canvas page if you'd like. All right, so readers, I'm going to have you go at it and look for character traits in books that you have, in any book that you have read already. All right, have fun, readers.